Lord, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading so we can receive the messages that you brought us here to receive. Do step in and deliver your messages to your children. So, welcome back. I'm here again. We are here to find out what happened to the dentists in the past who sabotaged my teeth. They were working at the Clock Tower dental office in Harrow and Wealdstone, London, UK. So there were two. The first one was a little Indian man. We're gonna find out what his punishment was for the job that he done on my teeth. He's the first one to use the super glue after he's been doing my teeth for so long. I never used super glue in my mouth. And then all of a sudden, this one time I going to have one of my cavities fixed, and he used super glue. So I'm assuming that's when he put some kind of bug or something in my tooth. After that, he disappeared. And when I had to go back to the dentist again, this time they had a European looking man. I don't know where he's from, but he spoke with an accent. And I think he did 3 fillings for me, and I think 2 of them he put bugs in. I don't know if they're trackers or if they're bugs so that they can hear me even when I whisper. Okay? They meaning the secret society. So let's find out what happened to those 2 dentists. So the first one we're gonna look at is the Indian man. Let's see what his punishment was for the work that he did in my mouth. So where do we find that answer, please? Most High. So the subject matter of this man's punishment. Okay, so we got gang. This is the Indian dentist who was working on my teeth at the Clock Tower Dental in Harrow and Wearstone, London, England. So the first card that came out is delivery. Let's check to see if it's meant to be upright or not. Okay, it's upright. So delivery, there's method to what appears to be madness. Hidden message. And we got the temple. Chinese or Buddhist, the temple, that's about purification of self, and church, if you didn't believe that, that's what that was representing. And then we have hidden entrance. So it looks like he got delivered. He got delivered from his sins. So I guess whatever he went through, it taught him a very valuable lesson, because like I said, he did one. And when I went back, he wasn't there anymore. So the story with this dentist is, I used to go there. He used to do what he has to do, and everything was fine. There was a certain assistant that was there to help him, because you know dentists have their assistants. And the one time that I went, when he used the crazy glue or super glue in my mouth, there was a different assistant there, and I could tell she doesn't know what she's doing. So it's like when he's asking her for the stuff, she doesn't know what exactly he's talking about. So I imagine that she was the agent that was there to ensure that he does what he was paid or forced to do to my tooth. Okay, so we want more on this delivery. Okay, so that's what this deck was for. The underlying issue, it says gay agenda, but obviously it's not about gays. This is about the agenda to do something bad to my teeth, to sabotage my teeth. Okay, that's the underlying issue. It was an agenda. We got cultural or community center of adults, educator. So he learned his lesson from this government funded mission that he was on. So he got paid. Got Ministry of Agriculture followed by Ministry of Health. So agriculture is like cultivating stuff, cultivating my health. Then we got doctor, my oral health. Okay, he was government funded to do this, right? So let's get some information on what actually had happened. So he didn't know that this choice that he made to do what he did to me would actually change his life in such a way. At least it's a positive change. So he learned his lesson. I imagine he went through some hardship, because this is my deck that's full of losses. So let's see. So as a result of the punishment that he got, he learned his lesson and changed his life. Okay. And the hidden entrance suggests that he didn't know that this is what would push him in a more morally upright direction. But it did. Because I imagine he was not happy with himself. And that's why after that event, I never saw him again. I don't know if he got fired or he quit or what, but he's a smart guy. He didn't come back and keep doing it and say, oh, this is my job, this is how I get paid, this is how I keep a roof over my head and food in my children's belly. No. He knew that not all money is good money. And the risks for doing this far outweigh the rewards. Okay, so viral infection. That's the subject matter of what his judgment was. Viral infection. So something happened to him in abundance. And it was not good. Let's find out what it was. So I don't know if he actually left the clinic or not, but when I came back to do services the next time, it was that European guy who was there. So I don't know if they just didn't use him because they know that he's not gonna do the job or he wasn't happy or what the story is there. But it was somebody else there the next time I went to see the dentist. Interesting. So the card that came out is just a nothingness. So what his judgment was, just loss. Great loss. Because at the bottom of the deck, we got loss of friends. A lot of them. Viral infection. And loss of property. That was his punishment. So that made him feel empty. Blank card. So that was a spiritual. So he got punished in the physical because I guess his friends are like, yeah, how could you do that? And he lost property. And that's what made him change his life because he knew what he did and he saw what happened to him. So it made him into a better man. Like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. Loss of bowel control. Can't control the shit that come out of him. Or he didn't control the shit that was coming out of him. So now he suffered nothingness. And more nothingness. Loss of intelligence. Exactly. It was stupid. Loss of intelligence. This opportunity was just stupid. Okay. So yeah. So it damaged his social life and it damaged his financial life. And he recognized the signs. That's good of him. So, one down. Next one to go. Let's see what happened to Mr. Europe. Let me just put my cards back and see where God want me to pull the cards from. Alright, so Mr. Europe's case. What happened to Mr. Europe? What was his punishment for sabotaging my teeth? Okay. 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 That's a lot. Let's get comfortable, shall we? Because I'm going to get hot. Okay. So, let's see what happened to Mr. European, who operated on me at the Clock Tower Dental Office in Harrow and Weirstone, England. Okay, so subject matter we have here, in his case, viral infection again. Alright, so things happening in abundance. Alright, so we got loss of hearing. The underlying issue is loss of mobility. Viral infection causes a loss of strength, loss of mobility, loss of hearing. Loss of mobility. So the underlying issue is a loss of mobility, incapable of moving around. So the card that came out is loss of hearing. I'm not sure if he actually had something happen to his ear. Okay, I'm hearing, yeah. So something happened to his ear. Now he doesn't hear so well. And that's for his bad choice. Loss of mobility, viral infection, loss of strength. His ears don't work as well as they used to. Bacterial infection, loss of friends. So for listening to the wrong people, that's part of his judgment. He fucked up my teeth, God fucked up his ear. Just read on, there's a lot more. Okay, so the subject matter of this part of the message: forgive yourself and others, keep calm and carry on. So I'm feeling him taking the blame for what he done. So he accepts his fate. That's good. So we got change your look or presentation. Stop working with you know who. What they need to hear. Change or tweak the beat, vibration and energy control. If you love it, you will put in overtime willingly. Outdated thinking is an issue. One needs to handle the current era. And be your own biggest critic and your own biggest fan. This is a lot. So this is like a change of mind. So he accepts responsibility for what he did. and he changed. And we got stop working with you know who, what they need to hear. So that's him accepting what he did wrong, and he sees what he needs to change the vibration and energy of his situation. And then we have, if you love it, you'll put in overtime willingly. Then we got outdated thinking is an issue. Handle the current era, be your own biggest critic. So he's struggling right now. So he knows who he needs to stop working with. He knows why his ear got hurt. He knows why he doesn't hear as well as he used to. Okay? But he's in the middle of transitioning from being influenced with these horrible people, these secret society people who paid him to do what he did to me. He hasn't quite made it out of the dark thinking yet, because we got outdated thinking is an issue. So he's still listening to some people that's talking shit to him, but there's a part of him that know that his problem that he's suffering with his ear has to do with what he did to my teeth. The underlying issue we have here is be yourself to attract the right people. So you see, he's surrounded by people who are telling him the right thing, but he's also surrounded by people who are encouraging him to keep making this dirty money. Okay? So be yourself to attract the right people. Share the events of your own spiritual journey in your work, the rises and the falls. So he needs to speak truth. He spoke the truth. Let's see. Write about what you know about. And then get back to doing it from your heart and soul. And step out on faith. So he's still a little bit shaky, still willing to do nonsense. So you're going to have to take some more punishment if he continue. Yeah, and then we got to introduce that new thing in spite of what the critics say. So he's not choosing to listen to himself. He's trying. There's a part of him that knows that he should listen to the voice inside of him that's telling him that he needs to stop working with whoever. He needs to change who he is, change your look or presentation, and stop working with you know who. He knows who he needs to stop working with, but there's something that's keeping him still connected to these people. So he's in between right now. But yeah, he spoke about what happened. He knows what happened. He knows what happened, but there's people in his ears whose voice or opinions are so strong that they are challenging what he knows to be true. Introduce that new thing in spite of what the critics say. Sing about what you know about. So that's him talking truth again. Talk about what you know. And then we got motivation. What has been your motivation? So whatever is his motivation, he needs to pay attention to the reason for doing this nonsense and realize that they're not, the risk outweighs the reward. There you go. It's not worth it. He lost his, suppose he's a person that into music. How will he hear his baby when the baby is crying? When he's crossing the street, how can he hear when vehicles are coming? You know? So is it really worth whatever little crappy money you're getting to hurt people, innocent people? Let's get the next. So I got two more to get messages from. So the Indian doctor shifted in his thinking. He's trying to do the right thing, but this one is being challenged when it comes to doing the right thing. But if he touches the fire again and he gets burnt again, hopefully that time it'll become more apparent to him, and nobody's voice will be able to override what he knows to be true. Play with fire, you will get burned. He fuck with my teeth, God fuck with his ears. And me, I can buy dentures. How will he fix his ear? When it's all said and done, I'm gonna have my teeth repaired and restored. The Indian doctor, he has to work hard to gain back the respect of his friends. He also has to work hard to stay in God's good graces. He also has to work hard to accumulate money again to restore the property that he lost. Me, by the time all this is said and done, I'll be making money, and both streams of income that I'm into, they make a lot of money, so I'll be able to sort out my problems like that. So is it really worth it? Even if people are laughing at me for a while, scorning me for a while because my teeth look rotten and nasty, it'll be over. It's not gonna last forever. But how you gonna get your hearing back? And then the Indian doctor is in morality prison, so even if he feel like relaxing his morals for a bit and stepping out of line, he's gonna remember this experience and what happened to him. So he's basically in a prison of his own right now. So the effects are much more long lasting than what I have to put up with. And this is how God is using my situation to change lives. It makes them question their morals, question their actions, question their affiliations, questions their job, questions the society that they live in. And the thing is, this attack on me has been going on for so many years, and the people involved have seen so many things, had so many thoughts, experienced so many experiences, and they are now coming to conclusions, they're coming to educated conclusions where they have evidence to back up the things that they're thinking and feeling and concluding about what is happening in their life in correlation to what they're doing to me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why so many people are leaving this secret organization. They don't want to be a part of it anymore because they see that it's hurting them more than it's helping them. And this is why the secret society now has to get new recruits, because the old people that they were used to depending on to do this foul work for them, they don't want to do it anymore. But you see, the snake still slithers even though its tail has been cut. But when God is ready to stop the snake completely, God will cut off the snake's head. So the subject matter of this part of the message, we got immaturity. Exactly. Still doesn't have power over his own mind. And that makes him not have power over his own fate. So whoever he chooses to listen to, they decide his fate. So he knows what he did is wrong. He knows the reason why he's now suffering ear problems, but he's allowing other people's voices to infiltrate his computer system, override what he knows to be true. So, being a criminal. Immaturity. We got generational programming of hedonism. Hedonism is doing what you want when you want just because you want to. Hedonism is not believing in anything except for your own fleshly and carnal desires. Extreme selfishness, that's hedonism. And that's how he's been raised. That's how he's been raised. It's in his DNA. He thinks that's freedom. But his mind is showing him. You see, it's misguided. So he's fighting within himself with what nature is showing him and what his people taught him. Classism. Doing it for money and things, status. Passing away. It's slowly dying in him, so he's slowly seeing the truth. Child custody, taking control of himself from this generational programming. So the people in his ear that's telling him to continue to live this way, be a criminal, it could be like family members, grandfathers, grandmothers, mothers, fathers, uncles, aunts, people like that. But they're training him wrong, and part of him see that they're training him wrong. So he's starting to slowly leave those teachings behind, but it's still strong in him. Yeah, we got racism, rules, and children. This is how he was taught. Club, listening. So this is what's around him. Self-employment through criminality. The next in line is I didn't know better. So cycle end. So now he's coming to know better. It's witchcraft, it's wrong. And he's disagreeing with it. So he's slowly finding his way. Yeah, medication. He's slowly healing. But and then he's going to be ostracized. Because it's like, if you don't think like us anymore, you must be a fool, you're an idiot, you're not one of us, you're not my son, you're not my, you're not my nephew, we can't share the same blood. Yeah, black sheep cycle start. Yeah, he's gonna be when it comes to his family. So he's gonna be ostracized. He got protection of himself, child protective services. So for protecting himself, he's gonna be cut off from his family. For teaching himself the right way to do things, his family is gonna disown him. But you know what? He's better off without these people. And if he stay on the path to doing the right thing, God will provide him with new people in his life who would be on the same page as him, team up with you know who. God will send him people who also know the difference between right and wrong, and people who also know that there's a time to be selfish and there's a time to be selfless. This is excessive selfishness, and it's fucking up his faith. Look at that. He lost his ability to hear properly as a result of indulging in that behavior mercilessly. So God is trying to get through to him, like, can you hear me now? So God has been trying to train him in the right way for a long time. Slowly he's getting there. So it's like our teachers, our family, they teach us one thing, but life itself, if we're paying attention, is trying to teach us what is actually real, what is actually true, what is actually right, what is actually legal. Because even if your government make laws that contradict divine laws, if you choose to uphold the government's laws and trample all over divine laws, you will suffer karma, because these are not the rules. These government rules are not actually the rules if they conflict divine rules. And if you don't believe me, test out the theory and you'll see. So they're gonna ostracize him when he starts to walk the right path. They're gonna talk all kind of negative things to him. They're gonna disown him. It's gonna be dark and sad for a while, but he's better off without them, because he gonna get proper fucked up if he stay with them and continue living a life of hedonism. It's not good for him. It's not good for anybody. We are our brother's keeper. We are our sister's keeper. And life will show you that. But you see, the thing is, I bet you he never associated losing his hearing with the crime that he committed against my teeth. And this is the problem with humanity. Why we feel like, one, karma isn't real. We feel like, two, divine law is nothing. It doesn't exist. We feel like, three, God doesn't see or execute justice for us. And all these things is because we don't know how to read the signs that life is highlighting for us. An ear for a tooth. Well, actually, it's two teeth. He did 3 fillings. He filled 2 of them with whatever glue and bug or whatever device he was hired to put in my mouth, and the third one he did properly. So the first one he did properly, because that's the one that he did first, and then the other 2 he used glue to do it. So I know he stuck whatever that thing is that they paid him to stick in there in my teeth. So I got 3 of those things in my teeth. One from the first dentist and 2 from the European. And it's so obvious because when he was doing the first one, it's not my first trip to the dentist. I know what the dental thingies smell like. I may not be able to describe it, but I know it don't smell like super glue. I also know what super glue smell like. And I was thinking, why are you using super glue in my mouth? But I didn't say anything. Lamb to the slaughter. I'm used to it. I will survive. Resilient. Yeah, I will survive. And at the bottom of the deck, we had Peacemaker. Yeah, man, I'm cool. God is greater, you know. There's nothing that they can do to me to achieve what they're trying to do to me. They'll never achieve it. They want to see me broke and broken. I'm broke, but all my needs are still being supplied. I'm broken, yet I can smile. And not fake smile either, like smile for real. Be lighthearted for real, you know. In the midst of my storm, I'm calm. Let's get this last message. Let's find out what's going on with him. Okay, the subject matter of this last part of his reading. We got verified. It's confirmed. To verify something is to check to see if it's true or if it's false. Let me make sure that's what it means. I feel like it is. R comes after and the. Okay. Verify the truth or accuracy of. Verify. Yeah, the truth or check. Because I was wondering, there's a word missing. There's a check the truth or accuracy of something. To verify is to check the truth or the accuracy of something. So yeah, so that's the subject matter of this last part of what happened to him. So we got two cards to come out. We got ignorant and greedy came out in the reverse. So we're going to check it to see how they're meant to be interpreted before we continue. Okay, let's write like this. So, okay, they're in the upright. So ignorant and greedy. So being ignorant of his greed, selfishness. The underlying issue is guidance, and the subject matter was verifying. So he's getting to know himself. Guidance, reserved. So he's pulling back and then adjusting to his newfound knowledge. He was ignorant of his greed. So we got slutty, but obviously this is not about sex. This is about one's psyche. So, and then that's followed by procrastinator. So he's like slow to do stuff. And we got gossiper. So he's been very slow, because slutty is like promiscuity. Promiscuity is doing something in abundance. So he's procrastinating or he's stopping from having conversations a lot. It's like he's holding back himself. Reserved, yeah. And we got lazy because of his doubts. So dude is like, yo, I know something is like, and we got closed-minded, and we got growing up. So he's fighting between what nature is showing him and what his people have taught him. And we got giving up, growing up, then giving up, and then we got not sure how to feel. So his move is to just preserve himself, self-preservation. And he's like, that's the best thing to do. Just stay away as much as I can from people. Yeah, caution. He's like, my safest bet is to just stay away from everything and everybody, protect himself from drama. So he's seeing drama and the instigators, because he already lost his hearing. Yeah, the instigators he's been collaborating with. Because of his state of being. They're being ignored. He's like, yo, family, I hear what y'all are saying, but I see what nature is doing to me as well. And yeah, I believe that what nature is showing me is actually the truth. I hear you and I love you and I want you to love me, but this is bigger than you and me right now. This is bigger than our relationship because I can't fucking hear properly. Okay? So I'm gonna stay away from all y'all. How about I just live my own life? Nobody tells me what to do. I culture myself. You don't get to culture me anymore. So the best thing for him to do is to actually separate from this family because he's now more advanced mentally, psychologically, and intuitively than his family. His family are a bunch of idiots. They don't read any signs, they don't have any clue what Mother Nature is saying to them, and they're not even smart enough to know that they should care either. That's how far his people are from reality. They think that they were put here to just do whatever the fuck they want, when they want, if they want, how they want, to whom they want. But this young man is coming to the term that, yeah, no, nope, that's not how life works. That's not, you don't have to believe me, but I believe me. I believe what life has been showing me. So, yeah, until I'm sure, until everything is properly verified, I'm gonna just try and limit how much access you people have to me because I'm seeing something and I don't like what I'm seeing, and I definitely don't like not being able to hear properly. Yeah, so that's what's happening to the two dentists who sabotaged my teeth so far. And this today I did a reading to show the other dentist that's to come what's gonna happen to him or her if they sabotage my teeth. What's gonna be their punishment? It's already been said. So thank you guys for watching. Again, until next time, my loves, take care of yourself and each other. Read the signs. Bye bye.